I would like to show you some of my artwork. The previous image was of a cover design for a book that I'd written called Tears of Allegro. It's available at Amazon. I have had to live life always on its terms, and so I know what it is like to be alive while those who have been blessed, even in their maliciousness, have no idea what it is like. They have no idea what it is like to be someone like me, one who has to see greed and hubris win in the end. Or are we just saying that none of it matters and ultimately kill all that is meaningful in life and beyond? I've seen life from all sides, and I know what it is like to live in darkness and at the edge of the abyss, wondering whether or not I'm going to fall in, while those who have never had to live life on its terms have no idea what I'm talking about. And those who do know what it is I am speaking, maybe I lose your interest too, to that which is wrong. I hear cries and sirens in the night, and I can do nothing but come forth with my own spirit, strength, honesty, and humility, asking who it is now that recognizes me. I refuse to write tribe bullshit. Instead, I try to get to the meat of the matter, visceral, sometimes, when I feel it is necessary, and the world needs a wake-up call, and it needs to look closely at the writing on the wall. It is only because the world chooses not to look the writing that they have themselves to blame for the nature of the beast, and for the condition that the world is in. It will only change if people want it to. When people stop chasing vagaries and look at the science of the situation. And let it not be said that God didn't allow innocents to die to prove his point. He does it time and time again, as you will see later if you don't already see it now. We are defined by our actions to adversity. However, I've grown to believe that good and decent people suffer too much needless adversity. And this is the bone that I have to pick. For too much adversity only causes people to spin their wheels and suffer without reason, which in turn leads to depression and in some cases suicide. I know what it is like to live. I know what it is like to suffer needlessly, and daily I am defined moment by moment. I have suffered depression on extreme levels, to the point of abysmal mental anguish, so acute that it's killing as it demands to be felt. Abused by parents, pastors, and society, rejected so many times I cannot count the number, kicked to the curb, thrown under the bus, slipped through the cracks, time and time and time and time again. And I know what it is like to be abandoned many times, even by God himself. And my question is, was it all necessary just to live? So when it comes right down to it, I believe the story of Job is one of great sadness. Cruel, inhumane, sadistic by nature of the devil, and is allowed by God, who apparently hid behind his adversary. And it is for this reason that I believe this story to be more fiction than fact, because no one knows if there was a conversation between God and the devil, and more importantly, what was said. But if somehow the story is true, then I have to question the strength and nature of God, because in the story of Job, he comes across as a mean old selfish bastard. And if God is, in fact, a mean old bastard, what do I have to do with him? I started writing at a young age and was urged and encouraged to continue writing, even when I, in fact, lost all hope that my words would ever be read after decades of writing. As far as I can tell, it's made no difference at all. Decades of perseverance for nothing at all, no matter how hard I tried, mine would not be tales that went unread, whether fact or fiction. And so naturally I felt cursed, even as others were blessed in their own selfishness and greed and succeeded where I failed. I blame the cult that I was exposed to for 7 years for my perception of God and Jesus. Actions speak louder than words. And I was treated ultimately like shit, and my luck for the most part all my life has also been for shit, despite the fact that God and Jesus were supposedly love incarnate, till finally there was nothing left to give but my own identity. So it is my hatred for cults and most organized religions is kindled. They either speak banal tripe or vagaries of fire and brimstone. They control and manipulate and destroy the lives of people with their falsehoods and lies, whining through the scriptures like nothing more than propaganda and speaking loudly words that are even twisted representations of dogma, swaying people to believe that their way is the only way to live, even as they believe in something that cannot be proven until after one is dead. I hate cults and most fundamentalist religions because the negative impact they have on people and the irreparable damage that they can inflict on people's lives. So it is for this reason that I find it difficult to believe in any God, although believing in a goddess is not out of the question when my luck turns from worse to better. But I see no evidence to support there is a God unless he is a demiurge to make life more difficult than it needs to be. For this God or demiurge gives no evidence of their existence but to seemingly bless the evil that men do, while good and decent people suffer due to no fault of their own, save to be good and proper. But again, playing with lives like some twisted celestial game of chess. How can I believe in God when I see no example of his kindness? In 35 years, I've seen authors that write absolute crap, the most banal shit imaginable. Nonetheless, movies are made from their work, and they make millions, if not in fact becoming billionaires, even as imagination of people grows more and more stagnant. I'm told my writing is good, very good. However, I don't have the luck of others. I do not have enough money to afford an ego. I am not a millionaire, not even close. And I wondered with all my work and perseverance why that it was for all that I had given, all the positive imagery according to self-help books haven't mattered a damn. It's as interesting as it is sad that most determine a person's worth by how much money they have in the bank. And people would rather listen to a rich man with no integrity rather than listen to a poor man with integrity. So it is that money becomes God. So how can people say that there is a God when there is no justice in the universe?